Quick story time. So, inmate employee relations is common between both male and female officers. However, it happens more with the female officers because they work more so one on one with the male inmates. So, it's always a plus when you get a female officer that's gender specific working at a male institution because she's generally going to do her job based upon policy and procedure because she wants none of the ping pong. Now, contraband is not just bringing things into the institution, but it is also taking things out of the institution as well. But getting into the hot tea. So we have this female officer that's working at a male institution. She's gender specific. She generally does her job by policy and procedure. She's actually a model officer. She gets along well with the other officers. She seems to have a life outside of the facility. She have a wife. They have a child together. They have another child on the way. I mean, life is good until it's not. And I know that y'all are already thinking that y'all have figured this story out and that she slept with the male inmate, but she did not. This story is going in a totally different direction. And if y'all wanted the rest, come back for part 2. Nah, I'm just playing. Let me go ahead and give y'all the rest of this tea and stop playing. I play too much. But anyways, for the sake of the story time, let's just call this officer Officer KumUhLot. So I get a phone call from Officer KumUhLot's wife. And she is furious on the phone, like she's screaming. And I'm like, wait a minute, calm down. I can't hear you. We both can't talk at the same time. So I need for you to take a breather and tell me what's going on. You know how sometimes from the outside looking in, things appear to be what they're really not? Well, that was the case with Officer KumUhLot. So Officer KumUhLot, like I said, she was a model officer. When she was on the job, she got along well with everybody. But obviously, at home, she was a different person with her wife, or she had become a different person with her wife. I'll say that. The missus to Officer KumUhLot had enough, and she felt like there was some things that we needed to know that was going on inside of our institution that was being trickled outside of the institution. The wife informed me that Officer KumUhLot had become very well acquainted with this male inmate, and that male inmate had provided sperm for Officer KumUhLot and her wife to have both babies. So the baby that she was having was this inmate's baby, as well as the baby that they already had. Now, although you're telling me this, I know how sometimes things go between spouses. Y'all get into it. Y'all want to go back and forth, but I'm not going to be involved in the middle of this domestic dispute, especially if it's going to cost this good officer, this model officer, her job. So fast forward, what ended up happening, because y'all know I can't tell y'all everything. There was DNA testing because, you know, the inmate's DNA has already been collected. He's already incarcerated. The wife, who was the one who actually had the children, gave authorization for her children's DNA. And yes, inmate 2549867 was the father of both of the children. This officer was charged with inmate employee relations as well as a contraband charge because, again, contraband is not only what you bring inside of an institution, but it is also what you take out of the institution. And keep in mind that inmates are property of the state as well as their semen.